Imagine a city with no cars, no roads, and no pollution, stretching 170 kilometers across the Saudi desert. 9 million people living inside two giant mirrored walls, powered entirely by clean energy. When Saudi Arabia's crown prince announced The Line in 2021, the world stopped and stared. Engineers called it revolutionary, critics called it impossible. And in 2026, it turns out one of them was right. Because right now, the line is not being built. It is quietly, systematically falling apart. Billion-dollar contracts are being canceled. Construction firms are walking off the site, and the Saudi government is desperately trying to change the story before the world notices. In the next 4 minutes, you will discover exactly what went wrong, how deep the damage really is, and what this means for the most expensive project in human history. To understand the scale of this collapse, you need to understand the original promise. The line was not just a building, it was a 170-kilometer-long skyscraper, wider than a football field and half a mile tall, entirely self-contained, no roads entering or leaving, a high-speed rail running underground from one end to the other in just 20 minutes. The target was 1.5 million residents by 2030. That was the plan as recently as 2023. Here's what the plan looks like now. That 1.5 million target has been slashed by 80%. Officials are now hoping for fewer than 300,000 residents. And the 170-kilometer city, construction is currently focused on just 2.4 kilometers. That's 1.4% of the original vision. Let that sink in. But the shrinking size isn't even the most alarming part. What happens next will completely change how you see this project. The real story is the money. When the line was announced, Saudi Arabia estimated it would cost around $500 billion, already an almost unimaginable number. Then an internal audit leaked in 2025 revealed the true figure, $9 trillion. Not billion, trillion. That's more than 25 times Saudi Arabia's entire annual budget. That's larger than the GDP of every country on Earth except the United States and China. No single nation on the planet can fund that number, and Saudi Arabia was already stretching thin. They are simultaneously pouring money into hosting the 2034 World Cup and Expo 2030. Oil prices have been unstable, dropping below $60 a barrel at critical moments. The money simply stopped making sense. And when the money stops making sense, the builders stop showing up. In March 2026, NEOM began issuing what they called terminations for convenience. That's a corporate phrase that means we're canceling your contract and we don't owe you a reason. The firms receiving these terminations were not small players. Webuild, one of the largest construction companies on Earth, had a $4.7 billion contract to build mountain dams at Trojana, NEOM's ski resort, terminated at just 30% completion. Hyundai Engineering and Construction had its tunneling contracts for the line's underground rail spine canceled entirely. These are not budget adjustments, these are emergency exits, and the consequences followed immediately. The 2029 Asian Winter Games, which were supposed to be hosted at NEOM's Trojana ski resort, have been officially relocated to Almaty, Kazakhstan. The desert ski resort that was going to shock the world will not be ready. And in the next 30 seconds, you will hear about the part of this story that almost nobody is talking about. If you're finding this breakdown valuable, hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second and it helps more people find the truth about stories like this. Beyond the money and the contracts, there's a human cost buried inside this story. Since 2017, the Huwaitat tribe was forcibly displaced from their ancestral land to make way for NEOM. Families evicted, villages bulldozed, at least one man killed for resisting. And across the broader Vision 2030 construction sites, a 2024 documentary investigation suggested thousands of migrant worker deaths. Workers enduring 16-hour shifts in 50 degrees Celsius heat. The dream city was being built on something very dark. Now, even that dark foundation is being abandoned. Because here's the pivot Saudi Arabia doesn't want you to notice. They're quietly rebranding what remains of NEOM. Not a futuristic city for 9 million people anymore. Now it's being repositioned as an industrial zone and AI data center hub. The logic is simple. NEOM sits on the Red Sea coast. Seawater can be used to cool massive AI server farms cheaply and efficiently. It's a practical idea, but it's a warehouse for computers, not the civilizational revolution they promised the world. So is the line dead? Not officially. Saudi Arabia will never publicly declare it over. The PR damage would be catastrophic. What is happening instead is a slow, quiet death by 1,000 pivots. Sindala, a luxury island, is still moving forward. Oxagon, an industrial port, is still being developed. But the line itself, the 170-kilometer mirror city that was supposed to redefine civilization, is effectively over. What remains is 2.4 kilometers of construction in the middle of an empty desert. The $9 trillion dream has collided head-on with $60 oil and the laws of physics, and physics won. Saudi Arabia built the most expensive PR campaign in history and called it a city. Now, the question is not when the line will be finished. The question is what they build on the wreckage of the dream they sold to the world, and whether anyone will ever trust a mega project announcement like this again.